What you're going through doesn't define you, but how you react and respond to it does. And if you've been going through some hardship, this video is for you. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you how I've been leveraging AI to essentially help me understand, diagnose, and figure out what the heck is happening in my life that's causing me my pain and my difficulties, and how I've turned it into a beautiful transcendence on the other side, creating content and essentially growing an audience. So let's get started. Number one, what you have to do is first just analyze everything that's going on around you. And I mean, this is simply observing, because what they say is like the universe shows you everything around you that is happening. It's when we think about it or try to process it that we can start to distort it. So what you're gonna do is simply just observe everything that's happening in your life and look for the common themes, because though there's different people playing different characters in your life, they're all gonna be kind of poking at you in the same direction, whether it's, trying to take your value, whether it's, doubting you or lacking towards you or showing you lack. Like there's going to be a general theme, and I would say self-doubt, lack, boundaries, self-worth, confidence. Like those might be some common ones that you might see. So then essentially what you're going to do is track the commonality of those themes, and you can even look for these commonalities in your dreams too. I always say dreams and your outer reality are where you can find all the information that you need. And what you're going to do, you're going to take all this information that you gather, and this can be from a couple days, a week. It doesn't have to be over a long duration. Like you're going to click to the theme pretty quickly. Then what you're going to do is put this into Google Gemini or ChatGPT and just ask it, what is the wound? What is the common problem here? What is the lesson that I'm supposed to be learning? And then what you're going to do is just type in all the scenarios, give it as much detail as you can, and it'll kick out an analysis in which it might ask you more questions, so give it more details, because the more details you can give it, the better answer you're gonna get here. But then it's gonna kick out an analysis, essentially like a psychologist would, right? So it's a free psychologist. But then as you read it, what I did one day was actually take that stuff and I asked it, because I was like, this is a cool storyline. So I said, hey, can you turn this into a story arc? And it kicked out a beautiful voiceover script for a video, which I also think I added in my prompting. I think it kicked out a really cool analysis, and I was like, can you turn this into a story arc for a video? Because essentially a story arc is going to take that story that you're living through, that you're going through, the challenges, the hardships, and it's going to turn it into an empowering story where you're the hero, or you're the character who has gone through the hardships and struggles. Because essentially a story arc is the character goes off on a journey. They hit challenges. They get to the peak of the challenge. Somebody comes along and helps them. They hit a resolution and they achieve their goal. But without the challenges and the struggles, essentially the character isn't as cool, because the challenges relate to an audience, if this makes sense. So what you're doing is essentially taking your pain and your struggles, putting it in, analyzing it, fully understanding it, and then you're transcending it into content on the backside that you can create. And this kind of content, guys, if you made it this part of the video, this is where the gold is. This kind of content is authentic, it's very vulnerable, and it helps you connect to an audience. And as you're going through these struggles, if you're willing to put out that vulnerability and that transparency of what you're going through, what you're struggling with, and how you're able to get to the other side of it, you're going to become a leader towards other people. You're also going to become almost like a role model to these people who are going through tough shit, and they're going to start looking at you as like a voice of reason, which is how you build a community. It's how you build an audience, Like people want to hear about the pain and the struggles, and it's not about being in the pity and the suffering of it, but it's how did you get to the other side, and then how can those people watching you, this is kind of the mindset you got to have, is like the people watching you, how can you guide them through what you've been through and giving them the tips and tricks to get to the other side? Because once you do that, not only are you helping people get through what you've been struggling through, but you're building an audience, you're building a following, you're actually creating engaging content that people want to watch. And that is so huge, because if you take the I out of it and create it for you, people will start to engage with it, people will start understanding it, and people will start to value it. And as they value your content, they're going to value you. But simply what you're doing here, in a sense of the spiritual theme of it all too, is you're transcending your karma. And the best way to move through a lesson is to teach it to somebody else. Because once you can teach it, you fully learned it. And once you teach it, have learned it, and transcended it, it doesn't reappear. And that's the true magic, is you won't see these lessons coming back. You're actually going to move on to the next lessons in life. Sounds dope? Give it a shot. I swear to God. And if you guys are still watching this video, comment alignment versus ease, because that is the video I'll be dropping in a couple weeks, and this is the method that I use for it, and it is a sick video that I'm actually gonna go edit right now on my laptop, because it's, dude, it's so dope. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. If you made it this part of the video, Peace out, have a good day, and kick some ass today.